And apologize for any inconvenience with the videos.
Yeah.
Using the phone and laptop, not exactly the best video recording software, but it works.
Yeah. Alrighty, now that we have all of our essential ingredients done, we've got our red chili right here made. And yes, I put it in another pan because this pan is still hot. And underneath that pan, I went ahead and put another pot holder, just so we don't burn the table and nothing else burns. We've got our corn tortillas that we just finished making, and we've got our cheese, the best part in the enchiladas. And you may be asking why we have two different kinds here. I'll explain that as we go through. Right now we're going to be using just the plain yellow cheese. Go ahead and get that open up right there and place that here. We're going to go ahead and layer our pan. Earlier we measured and we said 4 will do. So we're going to stick with 4 here per layer. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some of our sauce here. Just enough. I mean, you don't want to put too much on the bottom layer because it's all going to run down from the top down. So you'll end up with most of your sauce at the bottom of the pan. So you don't need to always worry about putting too much there. Ooh, just smell that sauce. It smells so good. When you take your cheese, don't go skimpy on the cheese, otherwise I don't like you. Because like I said, cheese is always the best. Go ahead and do another set of 4 here. Actually, we'll go ahead and layer it this time with 6. Excuse me. And you take the sauce you have left. Now, there's not much, but that's okay. You just want enough to put on the top, just like that. Just put enough to kind of get that soaked, and enough to kind of put some on all the corn tortillas. Now this is where we bring in our second type of cheese. Because I like different colors and I like the presentation and the way it looks, we're going to go ahead and use the Mexa taco mix cheese as our top layer to give it a different type of color. And the top layer should be covered in cheese. Completely covered. And it looks like I ran out of that one, so let me go grab another. Go ahead and add some more. As you can see, I covered the top pretty good. Okay, pretty much all covered. My refried beans here have been boiling for about, I want to say about 5 hours. All it is beans, water, salt, vegetable oil, and a little bit of that red chili powder that I was telling you about earlier, just to kind of give the beans a little bit of flavor while they were being cooked. You can always add a couple garlic cloves and a couple things of whole jalapeno, and simmer it, and then eating the jalapeno at the end, to die for. We're going to go ahead and transfer some of these beans into this pan here. It's okay to grab some of that juice. You kind of need some of that juice to kind of refry the beans in. Get those beans nice and plump. Now I gotta get a different spoon to gather some of that. Add some of that juice here. If you're gonna make the beans the night before, heat them up before you go to refry them. You can refry them cold, but it takes longer and they don't come out as creamy. If you heat them up, they come out creamier and it doesn't take as long to mash. Just FYI for the future. Getting salt. You can add a little bit of salt if you wish. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, pepper, paprika, kind of that mixture. Give it a different taste. Go ahead. Because I'm ghetto, this is my masher here. I mean, if you have a cup with a flat bottom, that's perfectly fine. If you have a bean masher, that's fine as well. But you kind of just get in there and mash them beans up. It's like when you were a little kid and you like to smash the ants. That's kind of what you're doing here. Except it's actually useful because you never get to eat the ants unless you're weird. But you get to eat the beans. It's always a fun thing to have little siblings or little kids do too. It's not very dangerous unless you're over a gas stove. You want to be very careful with kids. Just kind of mash them up. If you see how they're kind of mashing up a little bit already, it looks really good. Mashing really nice and easy because they're warm. Kind of keep mashing them. They have a nice color to them here. Nice and creamy. Just keep working away at them. You mash them until the consistency that you like it to be. They don't have to be creamy. As you can see, they're nice and nice texture. We're going to add just a little bit of juice to it. So that always makes it taste better. Makes it look nicer. Now there's one ingredient missing out of these beans. Just one ingredient. And that ingredient is what makes them taste the best. And that ingredient happens to be cheese. I'm going to pour some cheese. Whoa, yes, some cheese. Whoa, yes. Talk about some cheese. Go ahead and kind of mix it in and get a nice, lovely texture out of it. This is where you get a lot of your creaminess, even if you left some whole beans in there. This is where our beans are getting their flavor from, not only from the red chili that I put in it while they were boiling, but from the cheese. Just kind of let that, watch the cheese melt in there, see that cheesiness, getting that nice sort of look into it. Go ahead and keep stirring it up. We're going to add, if you can see, it's just a little bit too thick for my liking, so we're going to add just a little bit more juice to give it a little bit more, little less thickness. So kind of get that stirred in and try not to make too big of a mess. Stir, stir we go. And look at those beans. Those beans look quite amazing. Look at that texture. Not too thick, not too thin. Just enough cheese. That we know of so far. My videographer Tyler and I are going to taste them, because tasting is very important. in cooking progress, in the cooking process. Tyler, thank you. Oops. As we make a mess. Perfect. Once we get those in with the enchiladas, all the flavor mixed together is just gonna be. I'm gonna turn this up. Like I said, started at 350. Once you're kind of about 15 minutes into baking it, turn it up to about 450, and that's gonna toast the top and give the top just a perfect color and a perfect crisp to the cheese, and it's just gonna come together. It's gonna be amazing. So it's been about 30 minutes since we've had these put into the oven, and we've started at 350, went up to about 450, and now they're done. So we're going to go ahead and pull the finished product out, and that's our finished product right there. Nice and colorful, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Set that down. Nice. Slice out of there. And there we have it, folks. We've got a nice enchilada, refried beans, some of our garnish on a plate there. We made our wonderful enchiladas with corn tortillas, ground beef, chili, and cheese, our refried beans, and all together on a wonderful plate. We can now sit down and enjoy one of my favorite childhood meals. Thank you for watching me, checking out my cooking techniques, and how I can prepare a dish for you. This film was recorded on one HTC Evo phone, one Asus laptop on the webcam, and together we are putting together a video by my wonderful Tyler. Tyler, please show your face.
Nah, I'm good.
He doesn't want to show his face. But Tyler, thank you for helping me. Auguste, Escoffier, thank you for considering me for this application. And thank you, Greg Johnson, for getting me involved in this school. And together, I want to go from passion to professional. Thank you. Have a good day.